Okay, hey guys, this is Coach Batista, and I want to do some practice problems about ratios. So check it out. This problem is saying, determine if the ratios are equal, write yes or no. So here we have this guy here, 6 over 9 and 9 over 12. What we have to do is cross multiply. So let me copy this over here. 6 over 9 and 9 over 12, like that, okay? And what we have to do is cross multiply and see if the product is going to be the same. So it's going to be this times this on one side and that times that on the other side. So 6 times 12, I'm going to write it on this side, equals 9 times 9 on the other side, okay? It's very important that we write this in one side and this on the other side. Now 6 times 12 is 72. And 9 times 9 is 81. So here we see this is not true because 72 equals 81 is not true. Actually, this is different. So when they ask, is this a proportion? We have to say, no, it's not a proportion. Okay? So when you practice these problems, make sure you write, you're going to cross multiply. This times this, write it on this side. That times that, write it on that side. Underneath this, you write the 72. 9 times 9, underneath you write 81. Try to get used to writing things under it, not beside it, okay? The answer of this goes underneath it. If you do another problem and you get 5 equals 5, then yes. But I want you guys to show all this work, okay? And this is the final answer, okay? Which means no. So you have to do it, all the work like this. Now, let's look at another problem here. Okay, so this number 6, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and see if we can get the whole thing in there. All right, I hope you can read this. But a survey showed that 2 out of 9 students prefer diet soda over regular soda. If 54 students were interviewed, how many students prefer diet soda? So what we have to do here is set up a proportion, which is 2 fractions. And they give us 3 numbers, and we have to find the 4th number, which is the missing part. The first fraction is right here, when they say 2 out of 9 prefer soda. So 2 out of 9 is going to be our first fraction. Start another problem here. So 2 out of 9, okay? That's our first part. This is the part, and this is the whole. The part is 2 people like sodas, and the whole is 9. Like 9 is all of the people, okay? So 2 out of 9 like sodas. Now they actually say that in the whole class there are 54, okay? Now we have to think, is this 54 the part or the total? And it says if 54 students were interviewed, this means is the total. So this number goes in the bottom of the second one, okay? Because in all these fractions we're doing the part divided by the total. 54 is the total, and they want to know this here. They want to know X, okay? Like how many people like soda? Okay, that's the part, and this is the total. Another way to think about it is, instead of thinking the part and the total, we can think of people that like soda and the total. 2 people like soda out of the 9 total. This many like soda out of the 54 total. Anyways, this is the setup. From here we have to cross multiply. Again, 2 times 54 on the left side. So 2 times 54 equals, and then on this side you're going to write 9 times x. So 9 times x. Now 2 times 54 with a calculator. Okay, so here we go. We're going to hit this in the calculator. There's a bit of a glare. Alright, but here we go. 2 times 54 is 108. So underneath this, I'll write 108 equals 9 times x. We can just write it 9 times x again. Now, when we have an equation that looks like this with a number times a letter, what we have to do is divide both sides by that number. So here, I'm going to say divide by 9, divide by 9. Okay? What happens is this 9 and this 9 cancel, and I will have, look, the equal sign under the equal sign. So 108 divided by 9, I'm going to use my calculator to go faster. 108 divided by 9 is 12. So this divided by this is 12. And on this side, what I have left over is the x. So x equals 12. So this 12 is this number that goes up here, which means the people that like sodas. So out of all 54 people, 12 liked sodas. Okay? So anytime they give us a word problem like this one, we try to find the proportion, which is we have to set up two fractions like this. The first fraction is 2 over 9. The second one was x over 54. We cross multiply. 2 times 54, we write it on this side. 9 times x, we write it on that side. Solve each side, okay? So this times this equals 108. 9 times x just stays on this side. Then to get rid of this 9, we divided each side by 9. Put this in your calculator, you get 12. On this side, the 9 and the 9 cancel. We have the x, the leftover. This is the answer. So when you guys do these problems, I want you to do all these steps, okay? You got to do all these steps, and it should look like this. Okay, so look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 or 7 lines, okay, if you're organized. All right, let's try to do one more. Okay, guys, now let's talk about percents, okay? If they give us a decimal and I have to change to percent, what we need to do is have to move the decimal point 2 spots. So here on this one, we have 0.03. So to change this decimal number to a percent, I have to move this 2 spots. So that's 1, 2, and the decimal point is going to be here. So the answer is going to look like 3.0, but I don't have to write the 0.0, but this is going to be 3%. Okay? Look at this next one. Here we have 0.0012. When I move this guy 2 spots, it's going to land here. Okay? So the decimal point is going to be here. So this is going to be 0.12%. Okay? This is really small. 0.12 is less than 1%. It's really small number. Okay? Now let's do some bigger numbers. Look, this is 1.3. When I move the decimal point 2 spots, I'm going to move 1, 2. It's going to be here. This empty spot, we're going to put a 0 there. Okay? So 1.3, if I put a 0 here, okay, then this will be 130%. Okay? And if look at the next one. If I have 3.75, when I move these 2 spots, the decimal point is going to be here, which means this will change to 375, the 0.0. But I don't have to write the 0.0, but the decimal point would have been right here. So this is 375%. Okay, so this is how we change decimals to percents. We have to move the decimal point 2 spots and then write the percent symbol after it. Okay, guys, last problem. Okay, On this one is different. This one, they gave us a fraction, like 2 over 5. This means 2 divided by 5. And they asked us to write this as a percent. So what we have to do is we actually have to do this division. We're going to find the decimal, and then we're going to change it to a percent, okay? Now this means 2 divided by 5. Think about it. This is going to be a really small number, like less than 1. Because the top number is smaller than the bottom number, it means this is a fraction. It's going to be less than 1. 2 divided by 5. Let's try to do a long division. So it's going to be like 2, sorry, set it up wrong. 2, sorry again, I'm going to do it down here. Let's see if I have space. This is going to be 2 divided by 5. Okay, like this. Look, the top number goes on the inside of the bracket and the bottom number goes on the outside, okay? This is 2 divided by 5. Now we have to think about it. How many times does 5 go into 2? Well, it doesn't go into 2 because 5 is bigger than 2. So what we're going to have to do, you know, there's a decimal point right here and there's a 0 here, 2.0. So what we're going to do is we're going to include the 0. We have to write this decimal point above it, okay? And we have to be very sharp, okay? We have to be organized with our columns. And now, this looks like a 20. So now we can do this. How many times does 5 go into 20, okay? So, 5 goes into 20 4 times, okay? So here I'm going to write 4. And 4 times 5 is the 20. And then I subtract these numbers. 20 minus 20 is 0, which means I'm finished. So my answer is 0.4, or actually it's 0.4, okay? Now, think about this 0.4. I'm going to write it here. 0.4, when we change this to a percent, now we have to do the last step, which is to change it to a percent. We have to move this 2 spots, so the decimal point is going to be here. This empty spot, we have to put a 0 here, okay? And so this means this is going to be 40%, okay? So 2 over 5 equals 40%. Okay? So what we have to do is we have to do the long division, and we're going to get a decimal, and then after we get this decimal, we change it to a percent, and that is the final answer. Okay? Just remembering, the top number goes on the inside of the bracket, and the bottom number goes on the outside. 2 divided by 5, 2 divided by 5. Okay, this is how we set up. This is how we do it. So I hope this video helps, and please follow these steps and show all this work when you do your problems. And keep working hard.